Hi friends, today is March 1st and yesterday was February 28th, and yesterday we saw what happened at the White House with President Zelensky from Ukraine with President Trump and the Vice President of US, and they had an argument about this war that is going on. This has been going on for quite some time. I think it's from 2022. So I thought of, looking at what is happening and in Jyotish chart for Ukraine and see whether we can make some, we can get an understanding of what is exactly happening, because that's where karma starts. This is the Ukraine chart that I have. I did it myself. I don't know whether anybody else has this exact same chart. If you do, then you can let me know in the comments. I'm just doing this for documentation purposes pretty much, trying to say, the value of this Jyotish science is, that shows how karma fructifies. Karma is actually what you sow is what you reap as a country. It's a collective karma of a nation. So in this case, Ukraine, who became independent on August 24th, 1991 from Russia, right? And they have a most effective point, very sensitive point of 2531. And the biggest issues that this is a sign of Leo, which is a proud nation, and the sun is in the first house itself, that says a lot about the country. They are proud people, they don't want to be surrendered to anyone, that kind of qualities are there. So they will fight. That is what, happening, fighting all this while, trying to save the country. But then all of these happens, the real reason behind all of this is karma, collective karma. What Jyotish does is give us the light as to, why are these karmas that are fructifying and, destroying this nation. That is the trouble. When you look at it, if you are someone who have knowledge about this great science, then of course, you will understand what I'm saying here. This is really difficult to understand. If you're not a person who knows a bit about this at least, what truly happens is that this is the most effective point. And then we have this malefic planets, which shows the bad karma, which is very close to this 2531, which is Ketu here is 2442 in the house of friends and income. So what happens is when the difference is within 10 degrees, not long after the independence, country began to having political problems. That's exactly what's supposed to happen, because this is within 1 degree, right? So this is to do with friends of the nation and also income of the nation. And this is why Ukraine doesn't have real friends. What is happening, yes, US was helping them with weapons and stuff, and to some extent, of course, the European countries, the Union. But, it's not that they were given complete help to overcome Russia. That is not going to happen because of this situation here. Because of this, if it's a personal chart, a situation like this, what happens is you don't have much friends, Personally, if you have Ketu in this house of 11, you don't have much friends. Also, you have a lot of pressures on your income. It depending on all the other factors also. But in this case, because we are very close to 2531 of the most sensitive point, and then this is 2442 also, this same one affects on this one here, house of communication and initiatives. So when it comes to communication, some things come out of initiative. It's not that positive that come to, like for people to know, in a positive sense, what is happening to Ukraine. It's really bad. I mean, they haven't done anything, and of course Russia came and, attacked them. It's something that should not happen at all in this world, I mean, we should never hurt nobody else at all. And also this affects on this house, which is the long-term partners. So what happens is that long-term partners of a country, foreign relations and those kind of stuff here, is negatively affected by the same one over here. And it's very closely, affecting that from not long after the independence. So it's between, like they had Russian, like some presidents supporting Russia and some supporting, want to go to European side. So this is what was the problem. So this is what happens. This house and this house is all affected by this karma here. So you don't have friends, you don't have long-term partners for, like international community. True friends are not there for them. And also on this case, like particularly when it comes to certain intelligent and then, letting go matters and things like that, that's not going to happen when Rahu is in this house. Also that affects the country itself, because this one affects this house and this house. This is a good fortune, luck of a country, being deceived by, certain forces. Like, they would say to your face to Ukraine, don't worry, we will be there with you. But it's not necessarily the case. So they can be lied to and they can be deceived. So that is exactly what is happening. That's how you saw President Zelensky yesterday, pretty much asking President Trump, are you with us or whether you're with Russia? I mean, first of all, the U.S. also going through really rough time now. If you look at my U.S. 2025 predictions, you can clearly see what is happening in U.S. So this is not the time for U.S. to help in the first place. It's never going to happen. It's not going to happen right now. And the U.S. also has to come to a better position, better time to help someone else, and these days U.S. is not popular, that's why you hear they need a world leader, someone else. I said that clearly in the U.S. chart transits these days, that's what's exactly happening. And also in addition to these two, you can see this red one here. This is also a negative planet for Ukraine. This is really house of conflicts. House of conflicts. So house of conflicts, the Lord of losses of this one is in house of conflicts. So Ukraine is meant to lose, that is what is happening. With its karma, it's nothing else karma. And the other thing is, this is 25-31 and this is 23-29. So if you take 2 degrees, 24-29, 25-29, pretty much like 20 years. Right, little bit over 20 years. You can see the first war began in 2014. Because after 2 degrees, the war, it happens after 20 years. So the first war began in 2014, where they took over part of Ukraine. So that is what happened. You can see that it's 23-29, 25-31 is pretty much 2.1 degrees away. So that is how you get 24, 3 years that way. That is how the war get started for I think Crimea, right? Yeah. And then this one here is the Lord of long-term partners, is in the house of conflict. What that means is that we need the long-term partners for when we have conflicts. Our long-term partners, in this case, Ukraine long-term partners are needed when their conflicts are there. That's exactly what is happening now. These things happen, not by chance at all. These are all meant to be. This is how karma works, and nobody truly understands it that way. People always look at things on the surface, but they never look at things at the deeper level, and understand why things happens to us in life. The things happens to us in life because we deserve it, because we live our own karma. That is what we do. And then whenever something bad happens to you personally or to a country, because it's because God is watching. If God sees that it's unfair or wrong or something, God will never allow that to happen. Right? God let that happen because, as punishment for your karma. It's the same thing for a nation. Exactly that's what's happening. So this chart clearly shows this country meant to be in conflicts. Right? And then they nobody come to help them. Like they are not, other countries close by there, they get NATO or they got European Union joining them, but not this country because of this here and then this here. That is the reason. The karma is the main factor. Actually, I was working with Gemini, Google AI, and then I was looking at what the background of these wars and stuff. You can clearly see they had a lot of political turmoil, and they had the Orange Revolution in 2004. And then 2010 they elected someone who is close to Russia, pro-Russian guy. And then 2014 that happened because you can clearly see why that happens here. The difference is more than 2 degrees, just over 2 degrees. When it's 2 degrees, it happens after 20 years. That's how it happens. And then this one is within 1 degree. You can see the country started having turmoil, after few years of founding. So what I did was I said most important thing for us to figure out is actually I'm documenting these, I am not worried about anybody watches this or not, because I really want to show value of this great science, because you can understand life behind the scenes and basically how life works, inside out. When I look at what is going to happen in 2025, you can see these, what I did was positive influences and negative influences, meaning that, how karma works. It's a positive karma bring us a positive result, negative karma brings us a negative result. So I put the positive ones in green and negative one in yellow here. Like I can see this here, certain aspect Mars. This is 7th aspect, so this is to do with long-term partners going to help us. Possibly we're going to see some positive development relating to March, late March to early April, and the peak date is 7th. Everything has a peak, like it goes like this in the mountain and then it starts to come down. Peak is where the top of the mountain is. So whatever positive thing that happens, we are going to see something positive in March, late March, and then early April, but before April 7th, or April 7th or before April 7th, very likely. Some kind of a positive thing, maybe EU or US or somebody going to say something, they are going to help with the Ukrainian forces, because Mars is forces. Like giving them some weapons or something like that. It's possible over here. And then after that, this is negative. This is truly negative here. That is, we know Ketu is that red one that giving a lot of trouble all this while. Mars is the army and forces. in late April to mid-May, we're going to definitely go, it's very likely we are going to see some losses there. Military, like the war losses from war, because this is definitely a inflammatory situation going to be here, and then lot of losses here. And the peak is maybe 13, 14, 15, because I'm not totally sure the date. So I put like that, but it's one of these days is the peak, right? And then there's a one positive thing going to happen. Jupiter is God, going into the 11th house of friends and income from May 15th to October 18th, and then again from December 6th to 2020, June 1, 2026. So whenever Jupiter goes like here, in this house, Jupiter come into here, meaning that, Ketu here is creating a lot of trouble, a lot of karma is fructifying here. But when God goes in here, which is just Jupiter go in here, there is some help can be expected. So that means we have a chance of getting some help from European Union or US or whoever, like whoever going to help. That is a possibility. But then you're going to see some, right now they always, preach and say this and that, but they are not really actively helping them. When I say actively helping them, of course they'll give war money and weapons kind of thing, But then Ukraine probably don't have enough human soldiers either, that is not the answer, all of this stuff. If you truly understand what this is all about. And then this one, then this is a positive thing going to start there, but negative things going to happen. If there are negative transits that are going to happen, this is another one. Ketu on 1 MEP, there is a losses here for sure again, from late June to late July, peak somewhere around July 25th or 26th. Definitely there are going to be losses here. And also this one also going to be losses here. That is around, early part of August, from late July. So all of these are going to be losses here. And then we are going to see some positive transits here, which is Jupiter, which goes into the 11th house, going close to that most effective point, which is the most, influential point, that goes from early September to mid-September. Peak is in September 9th, like maybe September 10th or 11th, right? I don't expect much bigger things on this one, but there will be some positive help for sure. Definitely some help from friends going to come through here, right? And then this one is definitely going to be much more bigger help going to come. Some kind of a help here from other people, maybe some resolution, hope of resolution or something of that nature can happen, because this Saturn is, it's possibility that Saturn going to help with this war situation. So this is November 15th is the peak, right? And then Jupiter goes into 11. This is also a positive one, particularly this and this is positive. So which peaks on January of next year, right, 2026. So this is what the calendar looks like for Ukraine. You're definitely going to see something happening on these days. Or it's not the exact day before, and then possibly, close to the date. Before, possibly close to the date again on these ones. So we are going to see some things being prepared to help some way or the other. from now itself, like maybe not necessarily September, it could be from August, some things are happening around, but then you are going to see the fruits coming in, on these kind of dates. Same AI, Google AI, I was trying to use, what are the possible scenarios of settlement, negotiated settlement, this is probably the best one you can ever do, letting go. But knowing Ukraine chart, it's very unlikely that would happen like that. When I say letting go, I mean, it's like you will you will say, someone is crazy to suggest something like this. If you can stop the war today and let President Putin put someone close to him to run the whole Ukraine and stop the killing, that would be the best situation. That's letting go the whole country for a short time. That is the best solution that can happen. If Ukraine can say, okay, we were part of Russia before 1991 anyway, and then let Russia take over the country and then run it with whoever, president or whoever wants them to run it for now. But eventually it will come back, and that will be the best solution, because you can get rid of this chart. This karma chart goes away if EU or US or Russia takes over Ukraine at least for a week, and then hand it over back on a good time. That shows a better karma than this. That would be the ideal solution. There is no other better solution than that. If anybody can understand this level of how karma works, this is the best solution. Let the country go, letting go, even Buddha taught us, if you want to be happy, learn to let go. Because letting go doesn't mean, like you lose everything, you don't. You can let whoever, instead of Zelensky can say, okay, I'll resign, you put whoever you want to put it in there, and let the country go forward as one country, rather than negotiate a settlement of giving part of the country and not keeping this chart. If you keep this chart, it is going to happen again and again. Every time these transits happens, Russia or any other country will just take over part of Ukraine. So the best solution would be this, letting go completely. All right, and the ceasefire or frozen conflict, not going to happen. That's not going to happen for sure. Ukrainian victory, no, not going to happen. Not with this chart. Absolutely no. No way of winning by Ukraine by themselves. Even if other people help, Ukraine is not going. Other people will not help completely for them to win. As President Trump says, you're looking at World War III. It's not necessarily that, but Ukrainian victory is very, very unlikely. Absolutely, 0.1% chance maybe. Russian victory is possible if President Trump is there and then he's not going to help Ukraine, prolong this trouble. Russia can win this, right? And then this situation will happen here, but then you lose a lot more lives and a lot more property. But letting go will save all of that trouble from now, But the thing is, this kind of a thing, you cannot sell it to people, because people will never understand, why all these things are happening, right? And the stalemate and war, attrition, it's not going to happen either, So factors affect influencing outcome. Actually, President Putin is the medium President Putin, I mean, this is something very basic to understand. Yes, we are all angry with President Putin. Everyone is angry that why in the world that he wants to come and take over Ukraine. He could have gone to other countries, former Soviet republics. But why he selected why he selected Ukraine? Because of the Ukraine has the highest bad karma. These 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, that's 6. And then 1, 2, 8 out of 12 houses are all eaten by bad karma. This is a really, really country with a lot of bad karma. So that is why President Putin was influenced to take over Ukraine. Pretty much, he is the medium to punish. He's the medium to punish Ukraine. That's all. When someone come and hurt you, you will definitely get the revenge from that person. Actually, that person is not the person. That is not the reason why you are getting hurt. You are getting hurt because of your bad karma. Because it's a fructifying of karma. They are using a medium to hurt you. So the medium could be your family member, medium could be a friend, medium could be your enemy. But not necessarily they are the true enemy of you. They are being used to hurt you because that's what you deserve. That's it. There is nothing else. So the main factor is President Putin is being used to hurt this. If you truly understand that, you will go letting go with it, easily. Because if someone is asking for something, all you need to do is let go, let them have it. Then the problem completely stops. And then if that person eventually realizes, okay, I did a really, really foolish thing and give it away, So that's how it happens. So the main factor of all of this is President Putin. If, the Western religions do not teach, karma this way. You don't go that far at all, nothing happens outside of this. Nothing is coincidental. There are no accidents in this world. Everything happens according to karma and goes on a timetable, goes on a calendar. That's all. Your life, it is on a calendar. You can see day by day in there. That is how it happens. Military strength-wise, we know both countries are suffering, we know Ukraine can't really do much at all. Economic resilience, if Ukraine can't get any help from other people, they cannot do this a day, so that's the problem. Political will-wise, what can you do? And the international pressure, all these years from 2022 now, this war, what happened with the international pressure? It is not truly a pressure that President Putin feels, That's the problem. Why all of these happens? Because he is the medium used. So Russian people should not suffer because of this, That is what it is. And then the internal dynamics. All of these, the key point is this. Key point is that President Putin is used as a medium to hurt, bad karma, fructifying bad karma of Ukraine. That's all. If you truly understand that fact, you can easily let go or let Russia win the victory, And then eventually, all of these bad times comes out. Eventually, UN or a different president of US or, European Union, we can get back this country independence back online again, at a better time with God help. Because if these people deserve to have a better chart than this, better karma, collective karma of the nation better than this, then they'll not have all of that problems, This is what I really want to document here. this is a different perspective. Not many people will ever understand this. A lot of people don't watch my videos, because these kind of videos are not seen by many. Even if they seen it, nobody really understand it. So that's the difficulty. These are realizations comes with good karma. So that's what it is. Okay, if you want to comment and ask any questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, bye for now.